What is up YouTube, Joe here from Zephyrwargames, and I'm bringing to you guys a deck profile for a spicy version of Rebootmon that I thought you guys might find enjoyable or interesting. It's a simple, different take on the deck. You're not changing too much, as in like the ideas and the concepts of the different of the new additions to the deck. It's an idea that I came up with after my locals. This just passed, as of recording this just past Saturday. As I played like a more pure Rebootmon for the main event. And then after in testing, I thought, like, hang on a minute, what if I did this idea? And quick little bit of testing, came up with some good positive results. It felt very comfortable. It didn't feel like I was moving too much away from what Rebootmon's trying to do. And it just adds a different take to what the deck actually is trying to accomplish and that kind of thing. I'll go through the one combo, one bit of synergistic combo that I quite liked performing in the testing. And I just again hope you guys find this idea to be a bit interesting. I haven't really heard anyone else do this idea online, but if anyone has heard anyone do this with either good results or bad results, post it down below. I'd like to see those results or hear about that. So before I get into the deck profile, if you enjoy it, give us a like and subscribe down below. Ding that notification bell as well, because if you enjoy a person's content here on YouTube, you don't want to miss out on their content, and that notification bell helps prevent that. All the support has been greatly appreciated, and thank you guys all so much for doing so. So with all that said and done, let's get into Rebootmon. So, to go in backwards, obviously, we have our main egg for the deck, which is, obviously, we're going to go for Switemon. So, I believe previously I might have mentioned in a deck profile or that the new egg for that came with the Rebootmon deck is the new best egg. It kind of just all depends on your personal preference. If you prefer a free extra memory when linking, go for the new egg that the Rebootmon deck came with. Otherwise, if you want that consistency, if you want that draw power, then the old Switemon from 21 is still your go-to best egg. I think in general for consistency, this is just generally is the best egg. You're always linking as you are Atmons, obviously, so getting that free draw when you link is just beneficial to you in that regard. I moved back to Switemon a little while ago, and I haven't really regretted it since. I do kind of miss that free extra memory from the other egg, but Switemon just so far from 21 has just been like the go. So moving on to the rookies, we are playing 4 copies of the BT25 Gatchmon. This is one of your main searches of the deck, and note I said 1. What off because of your deck, add 1 card with Atmon trait, and add 1 card with social, tool, reboot, or creation trait from among them, return the rest to the bottom. Inheritance when linking, delete a free KLS. That does come up quite a bit. Very nice to just remove those pesky little bodies for your other guys, so you're not getting outswarmed. And then we're going to put these two together. We are playing 4 copies of Navimon and 4 copies of Taritmon. You can probably guess what we're going for. Yes, we are basically just taking the lower end of Gaiamon and put the top end of Reboot. The idea and theory for this is that you now have a consistent low end that just has its own thing that it likes to do, and it's just being hyper aggressive. And Rebootmon tends to also like to just be hyper aggressive. Yes, you can play the Reboot deck in a more of a control deck, but being able to tap into just the natural aggression that Reboot likes to do, while also just being a somewhat control as a big immune boss monster blocker, the Gatchmon line really does help that. Help with that. I like the idea as well, and I like the feel of just having 3 rookies that just consistently fusing into a level 4 for free, or 1 memory at the very most. So that way you can use the rest of the memory to either evolve into one of your Bootmon level 5s to then go into your level 6 reboot. Or if you have the tools, you can get into a level 5 for free. Or just 2 memory, which is sometimes just enough for you to have. And then you can just hard evolve into reboot to pass turn. And then that way your opponent not only had to deal with like a little bit of aggro against you up with the Gatchmon line, but then they also now have to deal with a big block of a Rebootmon, which if they don't remove via like an option, but we have tools to mitigate that, they will have to now deal with a hyper-aggressive Rebootmon on your turn. So I just really like the feel and the consistency that this gives. We now have 8 rookies that just search everything in our deck, basically. And then we have just like consistent natural draw power with Tweetmon. So I really liked the feel of this little synergy going on here. And that's what I'm kind of going for at the moment. For the super grades, we're playing 3 copies of the starter Gatchmon and 3 copies of the BT21 Gatchmon. We don't have a lot of Globemons, so I feel like if your Globemons are going down, the starter Gatch should also go down, because it's kind of like in synergy to go with getting into Globe. But because Gatchmon doesn't go into either of Bootmon or Shutmon, we don't really need that combination combo of Swing with Gatch to link for free. It can come up, which is why I still kept that 3 copies, but I really wanted to add more of this as it combos very well with Rebootmon once you evolve into it, and you'll see that later. Obviously, though, we're playing 4 copies of Timon. The reason I kept Timon here at 4 is because not only is it just the Digivolve, its Digivolve effect does come up very, very nicely, but it combos very well with the 1 copy of Logomon that I'm putting in the deck, as you can now fuse into Shutmon if you need to. The reason that I've only gone for 1 copy of Logomon is because I still wanted to keep 1 copy of Gossipmon. I wanted to keep a consistent Gatchmon line. Now, I wanted to have 6 Gatches, which was like, this is kind of like the main point of the core. So you have a consistent rookie grades to go into your super grades. By having a consistent 3 super grade means that when you evolve into your boot and shut, you haven't wasted pretty much any memory prior to doing so. I wanted to have 1 copy of Logomon because Logomon is essentially doing the same thing as Gossipmon. Obviously to a little worse degree, as Gossip can add any of your ultimate grades and up. Your 5s and up, but and Logomon can really only get access to like a level 4 super grade if you want to. But I like the idea of like you're doing your Gatchmon stuff, you maybe had a Timon here and there, the Timon's gone into the trash. Later on, if you need to make another Rebootmon quickly, you can just promote a level 3, go into Logo for 2, use Logo to link time for 1, and then you can just fuse into Shut, and then from there you can go off and get into another Rebootmon. I kind of like that little toolbox there going on for that. And sometimes that's what Atmon's best traits are, is that you have your consistent core going on, but sometimes it's what toolboxy things you put into that core is what gives you the edge in most matchups. So that's why we're going for 4 and 1-1, just to go off from there. We're playing for the ultimate grades. We're playing 4 copies of Bootmon, obviously, and we've got 4 copies of Shutmon. You can probably reduce these down if you want to. I just like having a consistent ultimate grade with 3 cost Evo. 3 cost Evo is like so beneficial to Atmon. That unless you're playing Atmon, you've been playing Atmon for a long time, you're not probably going to notice that is a big difference. You can consistently get to free memory quite a bit. Between your memory setters and your other forms of getting free memory now, you can get to free memory quite easily. And you can get to free memory quite easily with a level 4 on the board. So being able to just now like hard evo into a level 5 for free means that you can now consistently get into level 6, even though it does pass turn. But now that our boss monster is Rebootmon, we don't mind passing turn. So that's why I've gone for free, just a simple 4/4. These cards in combination just do so much by themselves, being able to suspend things, stun things, control things. Like you just get a lot of nice control out of just these 2 cards here. That sometimes at point in times like these are just like bosses on their own. But speaking of bosses on their own, we're still playing 2 copies of Globemon here. Being able to just have a nice super ultimate grade that we can just app fuse into constantly, just makes it so strong. In testing, I've been like going into Dogach, swing with Dogach, use an option card, get the time one in, app fuse into Globe. He does 2 checks, evolve into our boss monster here, Rebootmon, linking back the Dogach and doing another 2 checks at end of turn. That's like the combo that I've been really enjoying to do with Globemon, with Rebootmon here, in combination with Globe and Dogachmon. It is so strong, but Rebootmon is just a beast on its own. It just literally just wins you games if you can consistently get into it and control what your opponent's doing. Sometimes it's just knowing when to block. That is just like the pinnacle key moment. But just having a monster that you can just sit there comfortably, knowing that your opponent's not going to easily out this. If your opponent's not easily out this, you can just like relax a little bit while your opponent's playing, and you can just like comfortably calm your mind and be like, okay, cool, do I need to block right here now? Can I let this go through? That kind of thing. And you just go, okay, cool, yeah, I can let it go through. Maybe they hit something like a gossip or something, I don't know, and you just get a free piece back. But yeah, obviously, or you can just like, okay, no, I can't let this go through. We go into the reboot, we block with the reboot, that kind of thing. You can maybe fit another God grade if you want to. Maybe you want to fit a Gaiamon here, but I feel like just having the reboot is just enough. Moving into the Tamers, we have 3 copies of Haru for the memory setter and 2 copies of Promo Haru for extra search and memory. You're probably wondering why I'm not playing the Gatchmon that can play Haru for free. In testing, it just never comes up. And because of that, I'd rather have more consistent searching. Especially I want to have a rookie that can search my God grade. Before, if I had like reduced copies of these to fit in the Gatchmon that can play a Tamer for free, I have so little things and tools that can search reboot. It just feels a little bit inconsistent to constantly bomb deck it. So I bumped up the these Gatchmons to 4. Taking out the one that can play Haru. I don't mind playing these for free memory. Also, we now have Cyber Engage, which is essentially our new Gatchmon from 21. Being able to just like set up Cyber Engage, get a consistent search for anything in my deck, and then later turn you can just pop this to play a Haru for either 1 or 0. It's not a problem to do that at all. Sometimes I just like seeing Cyber Engage stay on the board just in case they do out my reboot, because then I can just pop in Engage, get a free level 3, and I can just go off there and pop into another reboot one. Yeah, that reboot one won't be able to swing because it's got summoning sickness, but being able to establish a reboot one that is stunned opponent's things, and your opponent just go, oh, I just got out, I just got rid of that thing, now you have to deal with it again. And you're like, yes. So that's just something I like to leave for Cyber Engage. But Cyber Engage has done a lot of work. I really enjoy using this card. It just sets up a lot more freedom now for the rest of the deck. As again, like, because this now exists, we don't have to play the other Gatchmon to play these. We can now use Gatchmon for more consistent searching, and you can use this, which you're already playing, to play these, which you're already playing. For the rest of the options, we're playing 3 copies of Big Bang Punch. I just love this card. This is my favorite other Atmon memory consistency option. I just think it's just so flexible. You can just do so much with it, especially in more hyper aggro decks like this. Being able to just like app for free by just swinging is just so good. The extra draw is really nice. 2 cost is also very good. I just really like Big Bang Punch. And because we're more of a red base, we can now consistently use red card in this as well. Yeah, we're using red card in reboot naturally. Because we have like all of our tamers are red. We have a red level 3s, red level 4s, even a red level 5. Being able to just like red card, just be like, okay, cool. Now you can't even deal with reboot one with option cards. Like, deal with it. Text that I feel like I want to try and fit in is a copy of Emergency Program Shutdown. In the tournament, I had that in the more classic Reboot one deck, and it came up very clutch in times. I can't really think what I would want to take out for it though. It'd probably have to be a Big Bang Punch to drop down for a copy of that. So being able to shut down opponents' options completely just really helps in certain matchups, especially into TS matchups. And obviously you got your your Three Musketeers. Being able to play that after you just establish a reboot just means now you can't deal with that at all on your turn. And if you try and swing combo, I will block you. That kind of thing. But you got tags and tools that you can do for any matchups. I've even been hearing around the Dragon Links that you can put in to just like control what your opponent's doing while you're trying to like do reboot. Sometimes there'll be points where you just don't see reboot, so maybe even adding like a Dragon Link, like a volcanic, because you have your consistent lineup, your ultimate grades of black and red. You can fit in like a volcanic Digimon just to stun what your opponents control, or metallic if your locals warrants metallic to be used. It just gives you another level 6 that you can just like combo off up to level 5. You're like, okay, cool, I just need to pass turn doing something. I haven't got my Rebootmon yet. Okay, cool, I'll go into a Dragon Link that will at least control what my opponent wants to do for a turn. And that way they buys me a turn on your next turn. You can just like swing with that volcanic if you wanted to and that kind of thing. But Tamers, that is the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed it. It's kind of like, again, as I said before, it's not too much of a change in terms of like, I haven't gone like completely outside like crazy toolboxy. I've literally just taken one half of one deck and put the other half of the other deck in. That kind of thing. And like the synergy just kind of works. Maybe that's just because Atmon just naturally kind of like synergizes with each other because they're just all Atmon. But it really just felt like that the Rebootmon just naturally fits in nicely with the Gatchmon line. That I just wanted to really kind of like give it a go, just to like, again, get it out of my head. Sometimes if you have an idea, you just need to play with it just to see how it goes. And you can naturally just see if it works or not. And it just naturally felt very comfortable to me. So I wanted to share it with you guys so you guys can also try it out yourself. Twink with the ratios and how you feel like it. The synergy between these two is fantastic. I really, really like being able to just get into an ultimate grade, swing with that, with a Gatchmon somewhere, source in hand, go into reboot, link the Gatch, restand, swing 2 checks again. That way you're already suspended. And what's actually really nice is that this kind of like fixes the problem where like if your Rebootmon's been outed and you've been able to establish another reboot but it's got now like summoning sickness. Actually, no, it doesn't. It doesn't at all. No, it does. Because you can go app fuse into this, swing with this, and sometimes you're like a 10k champion, which is pretty strong. So you'll like survive a check. And now you've got a guy that's now suspended. You can now climb up, get into the Rebootmon. Now the Rebootmon can restand on your opponent's turn. So this kind of like fixes that problem in a very unique way, which is very nice because we have now a consistent rush body that we can climb into. It probably warrants dropping this down completely to 2 and just bumping this up to 4. So you have that consistent access of that. But again, that's something I just have to keep on working through testing. Tamers though, I hope you all enjoyed it. Leave comments down below, like, comment, and subscribe if you do. Until next time, guys, as always, stay safe, and of course, happy dueling.